I don't think you're ready for the jelly. I don't think you're ready for the jelly. I don't think you're ready for the jelly.
Alrighty, welcome back to another Minecraft episode. I am here with Sammy. Sammy, say hi.
Hi.
And today we are going to be doing some ComputerCraft, and we're going to be writing this program that we demoed in previous episodes. It's just a task manager. So let me go run the program right quick. The last episode we did, we made the mechanical crafter and the living rock petal apothecary. But yeah, we made this. We have this little task manager that makes the lines be done. But yeah, we're gonna be recreating this and showing y'all the code. Actually, Sam's gonna be showing you how to do this episode.
I didn't agree to that.
Oh, well, Sam's gonna be coding in some Lua today.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the episode. You're gonna learn. Alright, so basically we're going to be coding in Lua today. And this is a computer. This is a advanced computer, and the thing above is the monitor, right? So let's break this so it clears. Oop.
There's a baby monitor.
And then it turns into a little baby monitor.
Baby
Alright,
monitor.
so we're resetting it. So if you go into the computer, this is basically just like your standard terminal. So you can do ls to...
You say that like I know what it standard terminal.
Okay, well, for people watching, you might know what like a command prompt or like the terminal is on your computer, but it's basically the same thing. Just like a minified version. So ls is, I don't know what that stands for, but I think that's the Linux version of listing out like the files. And then dir for directory, right? Gotcha. So like in this current directory, we have rom, and we also have yomama.lua and task.lua. So we're going to be making our own little files in here. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and clear this. Clear is like make it nice and clean. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. First step, let's make a file. Okay.
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 Okay. Yeah, they're gonna be like, you don't know what you're doing.
I know, right? All right, so we're gonna type help programming, and that's gonna tell us how to make a program. So to create programs, use edit to create files, then type their names in the shell to run them. All right, so do the same thing, but do, all right, press Q to exit. All right, so to make a program, we're gonna type edit, and then we're gonna do it was chicky nugs, right?
Yeah, chicken nugs.
All right, we just do edit chickynugs.lua, and now we have a file here. So if we'll type something in here like hello, and then you hit control and save, you'll see three options show up at the bottom: save, run, and exit every time you hit control. So if we go back to this main screen and we hit dir, you'll see your chicky nugs file right there. You see it?
Chicken nugs.
Okay, and so every time you want to edit the file, you just hit edit, and then you just
Chicken nugs. Oh.
you just press tab because it'll probably autocomplete it for you. So edit, and then you'll see that I saved hello in there, and now we're in our file. All right. So we're gonna recreate that task manager that we had on the other screen, right? Okay, so this is in Lua. So if you're gonna type stuff like that, and you want it to actually compile, just put it in. You're gonna have to comment it out, and comments are 2 slashes or 2 dashes. Sorry. Okay, and so like you could save this and it would run the actual Lua file.
What would it run?
It would just be a comment. There's nothing in this file. So like if I save this and then we run it, nothing happens. So
Oh.
all right, so if you want to print out chicky nug smiley face, what do you think you'd do?
Print.
Perfect.
Chicken nug.
Yep, exactly. So let's go ahead and type print. Oh, yeah, and do that. Yeah, And then, oh, okay, so let's put it in quotes, like it's a string. There you go. And then save it. So press Control and save. And then Control and go over one key. Yep, and hit run. And you can see it printed out Chicky Nugs.
Chicky nugs.
Nice. Okay, so now press any key to go back to edit. All right, cool. So now that you have that printed out, now do you want to print it out on the monitor? Alrighty, so to access the monitor, you basically create a variable. We're gonna call it monitor, and we're gonna make it equal to peripheral.wrap.
Why?
So I'm assuming this peripheral is basically you're grabbing the monitor's peripheral to the advanced computer. Peripheral means like adjacent to, right?
Yeah, but I meant in terms of what you just said.
So, okay, down here, advanced monitor, right? Peripheral to this advanced monitor.
Oh, I didn't know that was the advanced monitor.
Or, sorry, peripheral to the advanced computer. These are advanced monitors. So we're like trying to find where the monitor is at.
Gotcha.
Okay, so wrap is the way that we do that, and we can specify like where. So it's on the top of the advanced computer. So we could do bottom if it was on the bottom, but it's on the top for now. And then, all right, and if we wanted to write this to the monitor, all we would do is do monitor.write, and then we would do our Chicky Nuggies string, right?
Okay.
And then we save it, and then we run it, right?
Yeah.
And then we escape, and then
Chicky nugs.
and then you can see it's up at the top. So now,
Sick.
all right, so now that we've written it, now we know how to write to it. Now let's step it up a little bit.
Let's do it.
Let's step it up. Alrighty, so we are going to get a little intense.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Call my name out.
Sammy?
Present.
Alright, so our goal is the task manager. Step 1 is we need to make a file with tasks, and that's something that we will do in a second. And then step 2, we need to read the file, right? Because we can't display anything if we can't read the file, right? Step 3, we need to write to the monitor. And then what comes with that is we need to keep track of our cursor for the screen, because there's a cursor of where we're writing, and we kind of have to manage that ourselves. So those are what we're going to be doing today. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So step 1, making a file with tasks. So we already went over how to make a file, right? So do you think you can make another file?
Is that what we just did?
We just did. So press
So
Control.
why do I have to do it again if we already did it?
So this file that we're going to read from is just going to be a blank file. It's going to be a file with your tasks. So all the tasks that you want to display on the screen, we're just going to write it in that file, right? And then we're going to be able to read it from that file. So instead of it being inside of this program, we're going to do something a little bit extra and read it from a different file.
We need 2 files.
We need 2 files. So one file is the actual program, and one file is the list of tasks.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now
So these are the Chicky nugs
these are the Chicky Nugs.
tasks.
And so you can
The Chicky nug task. That's hard to say. Say that 5 times fast, Daria.
Chicky Nug task, Chicky Nug task, Chicky Nug task, Chicky Nug task. All right, so let's name the file. Let's name the file nuggets.lua.
Nugget.lua. Okay, that's how you start creating one.
Yes, this is how you make a new file. The file doesn't exist.
Even if it doesn't exist.
If the file doesn't exist, then edit whatever the name is. We'll create a new file for you. Task
number 1.
Task number 1.
Heat up chicken head. Task 2.
Yeah.
Dip nug.
Okay.
Task 3. Eat nug. That is all the task.
What's with you and chicken nuggets right now? Continue again. All right, so you press Control. And then hit Enter. Control. Go over to and hit Exit. Now that we have our task file. And then let's go and edit the other file again. Do you remember what it's called?
Edit chicky.
Just hit Tab now. Yep, there you go. Hit Enter. Okay, cool. Now that we have step 1 completed, now we have to read the file. So in order to read the file, we need to first make sure that the file exists. So we're gonna make a function. Okay, so I guess a function is almost like a way to like define code that is reusable. So like I
wouldn't have gotten that.
No, I know. We can give a name and we can call it continually, and we don't have to keep rewriting that same piece of code, and we can just pass different parameters into it and reuse it. Okay, can you type out function?
I can.
And then space, and then file, and then exists with a capital E, parenthesis, file.
There's a lot of words.
And then close the parenthesis, and then end. So this is basically us defining a function called file exists, right? And then those parentheses right there, where it says file, we're basically passing in like the file name. Now we need to open the file. So can you type local? We're basically going to define a variable that is the file. So just do local space f is equal to, no, actual equal sign, sorry, my bad, space io dot open, yep, keep following it, yep, open parenthesis, yep, and then the file, comma, quotation marks, RB, quotation mark, and then close the parenthesis. Okay, so basically this is opening the file. I'm not sure what RB stands for, but I mean, that's what the documentation says for the io.open. But basically we're gonna read the file and everything that's in the file. And then you press enter. If f space, then space, f colon close, open close parenthesis, open close, yep, and then space end, and then go to the next line, and then return and space. You're gonna do f space, here, I'll just type it out. I don't know what this symbol is or how to describe it, but it's the squiggly. It's the squiggly, and then is equal to nil. So basically this is actually just checking if the file exists. And then now we actually need to read the file. So in order to read the file, we're gonna make another function. All right, so I'm gonna do function. We're gonna read from the file, and we're gonna pass file into it. And then we're gonna do end to define the end of our function. If not, basically we're checking it. We're gonna use this file exists function to check if that file actually exists. And then we're gonna return nothing if it doesn't, and then end this if statement. Next, we need to get the lines. So local lines. This is just defining an empty like table of lines. And then for each line in io.lines from the file. So this io.lines gets every single line in this file. and then we are going to do something with all of those lines. We're basically going to load all of those lines into a table by doing this, and then return the lines. All right, so step 3, we need to write to the monitor. So what comes with writing to the monitor is that we actually need to keep track of the cursor. So when you're writing the monitor and you just write all the lines all at once, we can see what happens in a second, actually. We'll call this function read from file, and then we'll pass in your, what was the file name?
Nugget.
So for each of these, actually we'll just write each of these lines to the monitor, just for funsies. And you can see up at the top that it just goes off the screen, right? So we need to go to the next line for each one, right?
Right.
Actually, we also need step 5. We need to update ask with done and green text. So now we're gonna write to the monitor. So all right, we're gonna make a function called print line. We're gonna make a function. We're gonna make a function called print lines, and we're going to pass in the lines. So some lines that we have, local lines. All right, we're gonna define a variable to read our lines, or get our lines. So read from file, and then we have, what is the file name? Nuggets.lua.
Yep.
All right, so this is going to store all of our lines in this lines variable, right? We're going to for k, comma v. K, it will be the index, v will be the actual value in pairs, because that's just the way that this data structure is. I think it's a table data structure. So we're gonna do monitor.write v. We're gonna write each of the values to the monitor, and we'll just print v just for funsies. And we also are gonna put a function in here to move the cursor down after each line has been written. So we're gonna put it right here for now, but we also need to create it. We'll save that, and we also need to define one more function above this. It's gonna be called move cursor down, and this is going to be a function that entirely manages where the cursor's at. So we're going to make a variable. We're going to call it local y position.
Why?
You know, like a XY grid coordinate axis. You know, y is the vertical, right? So for each line, we need to move vertically down one, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna put it at y position 0 first. All right, so we're gonna do y position. We need to increment every time we call this function. We need to increment the y position. So we're gonna do y position is equal to y position plus 1.
Right.
Does that make sense? We also need to update the monitor's knowledge of the cursor. So the monitor has a function to do that. It's called monitor.set cursor
Uh-oh, it's raining.
position. That cursor POS. The first coordinate, or the first input parameter for this, is the x axis. So whatever position you want to write at for x, and then y is the second one. So we're going to put y position as the second parameter, and then we'll just print that this is moving to the next line for each line. So every time that this print lines function is called, it also calls move cursor down after that line has been written. So it's going to write each one on a new line. All we have to do is call print lines and then pass lines into this. So we're basically calling this function right here, babe, right here. Above step 4, do you see this? Let's clear it at the start of the function. So monitor.clear is how you clear the monitor every single time. So I'll save it and I'll rerun it. And for some reason, it printed the first line on the last line.
You have to debug.
Yeah, help me debug this. What are we
Debug.
doing wrong?
What if you move it down? Move the task down.
That's a good idea. That is a very good idea. We'll just put it on the next line. Maybe that'll work. We'll exit and then we'll edit the file again and we'll run it. Oh, you're such a genius. You're a genius, babe. Move to step 4. Just kidding. We already did step 4. Alrighty, so now we need to update. And last but not least, this is the most important step. We need to interact with the monitors and make it a touchscreen, right?
Right.
So in order to do that, we are also, can you guess what we're gonna make?
Function.
A function. No way. What do you want it to be called?
Make work.
Make light work. We're gonna call it make light work. All right, we're gonna find our end of our function first, and then we're gonna basically poll for events continually. So to do that, we're gonna do a while loop. So while true is technically our condition, and we're gonna do it infinitely. I'm getting attacked.
Uh-oh.
So
Rainbow.
Pretty rainbow.
Oh, what is that noise?
I don't know. He's already dead, so I'm not sure why.
Oh, that's creepy.
Maybe.
Oh,
What was that? I saw that too. It was the ghost of the Enderman.
Creepy.
All right, so basically we're gonna continually poll for events by doing a while loop. So we're gonna just keep checking over and over again in an unending loop whether or not you're touching the screen or not. Yeah. So we're gonna define some things here. We're gonna do the type of event, the side, the X position of your touch, and the Y position of your touch. And then we're gonna set that equal to os.poll event. And the event it's actually monitor.touch or monitor_touch. Make another function called update line. It's basically just gonna update the line that we want to update. So we're gonna pass everything that we set here into it. And then we're gonna make that function. We're gonna make it right above it. Function update line. Function update line. And we're gonna do the type and the side X and Y as the input parameters. We're gonna define our end, the function. Set the cursor we're gonna set the cursor for the line that we want to update. So when you touch that specific line, it passes all that metadata to this function and updates the cursor to be on that line. That's what this is doing so far, right?
Right.
And then we're going to we're actually going to set a variable temporarily called the line text. And we want to get that specific line, get it by calling or getting that specific index in a for loop, referencing the lines that we already have. So I'm just gonna write that right quick. So basically, if the index, which is in this case k, is equal to y plus 1, then I'm gonna end this. Then we want line text to actually be the value. So basically all this is doing is saying whatever y coordinate that you touched, I want to grab everything that's in that line, or whatever the text is for that line, and I want to set it to line text. So that's what this is doing.
Oh, cool.
And then we're gonna do monitor.clear line now that we're on that specific line and updated that already. All right, and then we're going to update line text to be to say done, right? So we're gonna do done. And then 2 dots to concatenate 2 strings together. So we're gonna do line text again. So this is going to add everything that's inside of those quotation marks to what already exists to that line. Then we need to update the text to be green, right? So we're gonna do set text color to be colors.green. And then we're gonna do monitor.write line text. And I'm pretty sure that's it.
Let's see.
And run. And see if it works.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh, my bad. We didn't call the function light work. So we actually need to call it at the end. So make light work and save. And then we run it. And then now it'll work.
It doesn't work.
Oh, hold on.
Embarrassing.
Hey, embarrassing. Bad argument. Number expected got nil. Set cursor position. There's a little debug action here. Oh, it's because I mistyped this. It's just be X POS, and it was missing an X. And it should work now.
Yeah.
Weird. Let me fix that spacing issue right quick. So in order to fix that, we just need to update lines to always set the X value to 1. Set cursor position to 1 instead of where the X value where you clicked at. So try it one more time. Oh. So if you don't want the text to be green by default every single time, do monitor.clear, monitor.set text color at the beginning to be colors.white, and save it and run it.
Yay.
Boom. Nice. Nice, and now we have a little working task manager.
Heck yeah. Look at us go. High five.
Easy as that.
Easy as hamburgers.
Oh, you still have the hamburgers from the beginning?
Yep.
What? That's crazy.
Because I stole some yours.
Is there something green on the top of our house?
Yeah. There is.
What is that? Is that a green llama?
It's a green llama.
Is it really?
I don't know. It's like a green animal.
Why is this llama green?
Is it actually a llama?
Yeah, it's a llama. Watch out!
Oh, look at him. He's a green llama.
Yeah, why is he's coming home with us?
He's cute.
He's kind of ugly.
He's kind of creepy, actually.
He's super ugly.
He's like not a llama.
He's
like a monster.
He's like a monster. He's a traitor llama. That is a strange creature. To summarize, we made a task manager this episode by coding a little bit in Lua in the advanced computers. I'm sure we'll have other coding adventures in this series to come, so please stay tuned. I want to make like a little mini game and maybe upgrade this task manager to be a little bit cooler and more interactive. Maybe play like a CD whenever like a task is completed, because that's something that we can do. And then I want to set up like automatic lighting, so you can just like type something into the computer and we'll have other computers around like our base and light up like section A or B or C or like the whole thing. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like I'm when we're here and I type, turn on or something, or like I just do a lever and it sends sends a signal to like the other computers to turn on the lighting. So I think that'd be pretty dope. Did you have fun coding in Lua today, babe?
So much fun. It's not that I don't like it. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's
I feel like you're just making up things.
I know, yeah. It might seem like that. That's definitely true. Yeah, I'm definitely just making up stuff, and it's just like magically working. It just knows my secret code language. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed and maybe learned a little bit about Lua. And see you guys in the next one.
Yep. See ya. Bye.